and did in fact find that there are distinctions. Briefly, conditioning is the foundational process of training the body and mind to respond automatically or reflexively to certain stimuli, focusing on building physical or mental endurance, flexibility, and basic responses. Let me give you an example. Picture a runner performing regular sprints to condition their cardiovascular system to run longer distances without tiring. Training is the structured, intentional practice of specific skills or techniques, often under the guidance of an instructor or senior, aimed at improving performance in a particular area. Let's give you another example. That same runner is in a race preparation, and this runner would train specifically for speed by practicing sprints, drills, and intervals, focusing on improving their training, their form, and increasing their pace under specific conditions with the guidance of their coach. Practice is the repetitive, ongoing application of learned skills to refine proficiency, often involving trial and error, and key for continuous improvement in any discipline. Let's use that same runner. After the runner has learned the techniques, they practice running regularly, continually refining their pace. Practicing occurs within the endurance and the technique, analyzing their performance after each run to adjust their stride or breathing for continuous improvement. So just like there are distinctions here, there are also distinctions within story and narrative. Think of story like this: a structured sequence of events typically told from a particular point of view, designed to entertain, to inform, or to teach, often rooted in personal and or cultural experiences. So a person may tell a story about a memorable vacation, highlighting the key events and emotions experienced during this trip. Narrative, on the other hand, is a broader, deeper framework that organizes and connects multiple stories or events in a coherent and meaningful context, often influencing how we understand and interpret the world around us. So think of it like this. We have a building in front of us, and the building has floors. And the different floors, these floors are called stories. They build on top of each other. A story actually and also is a measurement. It has different functions, but it all feeds into that one building, that narrative. So while I was researching the overlap between conditioning, training, and practice, I noticed that there were some connections between story and narrative, and there were distinctions, like loving someone and being in love are different experiences, as are all of these different terms. I began to think about the terminology that's connected with human services and social services and mental health and community wellness, and we're not thinking, I think, deeper enough about how these distinctive roles in development connect with our environment. That right there opened up the neuroscience connectivity for me. This led to the creation of NAVI and incorporating more neuroscience and martial arts breaking to apply into breaking paradigms within our minds as well as literal and physically. We are rapidly getting here this time. All right, so the integration of martial arts and storytelling, breaking barriers through martial arts and narrative. So I will be entering this work, of course, drawing upon my experiences as a martial artist, and a storyteller, but additionally as a narrativist. What is a narrativist? I'm so glad you asked. A narrativist is someone who views the world and human experiences through the lens of narratives and or stories. They believe that stories play a fundamental role in shaping our understanding of ourselves, others, and the world around us. For a narrativist, narratives are not just entertainment or communication tools. They are the very fabric of human existence. While both a narrativist and storyteller are involved in the realm of storytelling, narrativists focus more on the analysis and understanding of narratives, whereas storytellers are directly engaged in the creation and communication of stories. This now goes right into neuronarratives, which refers to stories informed by neuroscience that evoke empathy and emotional responses in and from the audience. These narratives are designed to stimulate both cognitive and affective engagement, activating specific neural pathways related to empathy, perspective taking, and emotional regulation. A study that inspired me additionally on this path was by McGill University. It was published in 2023, and it was a study on empathy and imagination. They applied storytelling to see if at all can empathy be fostered, and how they did this was by using difficult stories, sad stories, and their findings were, I found, fascinating, but a little scary because I don't personally want to use story to have people be traumatized nor triggered. And I'm not saying that they were happy to do this, but that was a function as to see if empathy could be evoked. I am interested in something similar and applying stories to entertain and educate, but having these two aspects be able to create space for both emotional processing and social learning. This then connects with neural arts, which combines the principles of neuroscience with artistic expression to facilitate emotional growth, resilience, and well-being. This term refers to the idea that the arts, including martial artistry and storytelling, can be harnessed to promote neuroplasticity, emotional regulation, and positive social connections. So, remove. This is, just very briefly, some of what I've been working on with BreakStory. To my left, your right, is another 2011 picture of me breaking. Directly to my right, perhaps your left, was one I was returning in 2011, and I was looking at the time. And I wanted to focus on being able to tell the story while I'm breaking, and is there a way to do this while using difficult material, but to also share space with my audience. I was surprised how many people resonated with this. So this is 2011, I was talking about trauma and the patterns that happen in trauma and the pain, and what are ways that we can break these paradigms and break into healthier paradigms. I talk about fear, and this is all of some of the artwork that I've created. And while talking about fear, I will do some type of form or some connection with martial arts, and then I will break. Let me see, I can show you something very quickly. So what they were doing was, I had 5 boards, and I broke 4 cleanly, but the last one had a little break, but it wasn't enough of a break, so he was just checking to see what that was. So as I'm doing this, I'm considering how to connect with the audience, because we all are connected through broken fragments of ourselves and each other. I think it's important to consider. Okay. I don't think that's important to consider. Okay. So, briefly, stories, BreakStory, empathy, and connection. How do we connect in a world that is so disconnected. I've been thinking about physics and neuroscience and martial arts breaking, emotional inertia. In martial arts, breaking a material like a board or a brick is not just about applying force. It requires understanding the concept of inertia, the resistance of an object to change its motion. When a martial artist breaks a board, they must exert enough force to overcome the board's inertia and not stop at the material itself.